Howdy, my name is Jose Ortiz, and today I'll be going over how I was able to connect my GitHub to my S3 bucket using Code Pipeline. I'll be going over what GitHub and Code Pipeline actually are, and then I'll show you a demonstration of how I can actually modify the repository so that it automatically updates my web page without me having to click any of the S3 bucket things. So let's go ahead and get started. What is GitHub? GitHub is essentially a service that allows you to upload any of the files you'd like. In our case, we created a repository with the files that we want to display in our web page. And the cool thing about GitHub is it allows you to copy this URL. And if you go ahead and go to your Visual Studio and click clone Git repository and paste in that URL, it'll automatically upload all these files to the directory you just created, like so. As you can see, these are the exact same files that are within my uh, website 412 repository. So now if you go to Code Pipeline, Code Pipeline is a continuous and delivery service that automates the build, test, and deploy phases. So what that actually means is that it allows you to choose a source and a deploy method. And let's go ahead and take a deeper look into that. As we can see, we have our source right here, and the source we went ahead and chose was our GitHub repository that we created. As you can see, website 412 is the exact same. And if we go ahead and click on this little tab, as we can see, we went by main. We went with the branch main by default since that's the only branch we have. Um, so that's what our source looks like. And then if we go to our deploy, um, as we can see, we went ahead and chose the S3, and we went ahead and chose our bucket that we've been using to deploy my web page. So essentially, you can connect a source. In our case, we went with GitHub, and you can connect a deploy. In our case, we went with our S3 bucket that we've been using to deploy our web page. Um, so now let's actually go ahead and show you how this would look if we make a push to a repository. So before we do that, actually, let's show you what my web page looks like. This is what my web page looks like. As you can see, it's a very simple web page. Now that you have that in mind, where it says Texas A&M class of 2025, we'll go ahead and add this is a test. Boop. And then we'll go ahead and save that. As you can see, this will say modified. That means that the file has been modified. And let's go ahead and change one of the background colors to a blue color so that way it's noticeable. So now what what we can do is that we can do git add dot git commit. This is a test. And then if we do git push, you'll be able to see a couple different things. Starting off with our code pipeline, it's actually processing the push we just committed. So that's why there's no check anymore. Let's go ahead and making sure that our push is actually accessible. And as you can see, it actually succeeded. So our source was able to actually go through, and it went ahead and deployed our web page that we'll see momentarily. But before we reach that, I also want to show you uh, this is a, if we refresh, we can see the commit comment that we added. So that tells us that our actual push went through. And as you can see, it also says now, or now it says 1 minute ago, meaning that it actually properly uploaded our modifications. And now let's look at our website. So if we refresh, we'll go ahead and see that it says this is a test whoop, and it'll show you the colored background change that we've made. So this was a video to showcase how I was able to connect my GitHub to my S3 bucket and how now I can change anything I like without actually touching the bucket itself uh, due to code pipeline. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was a helpful tutorial.